Happy Tuesday and Monday, depending on where you are. Uh, Thanks everyone for showing up. We've got a relatively light agenda today, so please don't hesitate to jump in and add one, your name to the attendee list, but then two, also any topics you'd like to discuss to the agenda. We can probably drop a link to this agenda in chat. The other thing I want to call out is because this is a Kubernetes community meeting, this is governed by CNCF Code of Conduct. Just please be nice to each other. It's a pretty small crowd today, but also recommend that you use Zoom's raise hand feature. So if you have something to say, we can make sure we get to you. Yeah, I think that's all. It is just around the corner for 1.4 release of Gateway API. And if you have been following along, I know it's tough to keep track of all the dates. The next main one is August 28th. And for, I don't know, history, whatever, when we mean August 28th, we usually mean when August 28th ends in the US approximately, which I know, it is imperfect, but that's roughly what that's meant up until now. Yeah. And then I think that's all. We've had a lot of things moving this cycle. Really great to see all of the progress on backend TLS in particular, and just all forms of TLS seem like they're getting some big updates in this release. So I'm excited for that. And also seeing that Nick's auth PR is also coming up. So lots of big changes in this release to look forward to. Shane and Norwin left some comments. Well, since they couldn't make today's meeting, can probably all read these on your own. But the big thing is they keep on moving. Well, Norwin in particular keeps on moving towards complete conformance test coverage uh, along with Katarzyna. Those two combined have added a lot of conformance tests in short order. And
Yeah, it's
not just
awesome
are
to
they,
see.
yeah, I mean, that they're making sure that they're passing. And so really good stuff. I'm excited about this. And also I should, and remiss to Candace is the one who got this all started and made this happen. So thank you, Candace, as well. It's really great. Yeah, and then there's a couple open issues here. Well, I feel like we're gonna have to make a judgment call at some point of, if we miss one of these conformance tests, is that okay? I don't know. Like, for example, we've let things go to GA without really solid tests for status. I'm not saying that's a good thing, but we've done it before. I don't know. We'll have to make a call on what is GA blocking here, what's, sufficient conformance test coverage. I don't know if anyone has an
Yeah,
opinion.
I think we could probably make a call later on in the week.
Yeah. More is
Candace?
better for sure. So
Yeah, for sure. Candace?
I just wanted to mention, I thought the PR and conformance tests for resolved refs was something that we were going to wait on, because it's a big.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, that PR is open. Yeah, so yes, that one does walk, I think.
yeah.
It
So I think it's
does
just
block,
yes,
you
Can to
said,
make
or
sure.
yeah, until it's
I feel like
merged.
there's
Yeah.
there's two ways to interpret what you said, Candace, and I'm not sure I'm interpreting it the correct way. Do you mean wait in terms of wait to try and include it until the next release, or wait as in we'll block including any part of backend TLS policy unless this is a part of it?
not the latter.
Okay. Okay.
But so I'd have to look through this PR again, but there was a part of this that we may have decided needed to remain experimental, even if it went into the the GA release for backend TLS policy.
Okay.
Is
That's
there a
that's okay
comment
as long as it's
thread?
called out as being experimental still.
Yeah. Yeah, if you have any context on this, because I think this one is, barring any feedback that I may have missed, I think this is about to merge. But if I missed anything, please let me know.
Aren't these two dues mapping to these PRs, sort of?
They're
not
I
different.
think
Topics, are they?
they are different topics. Oh no, you're right. This one is mapping to that one. Yeah. Because that was just adding the conformance test for resolved refs. I think this one is, there is no PR for this yet, or I guess only one.
Yep. So I think I feel like the resolved refs thing is relatively important because it'll be difficult to implement this correctly without having the resolved refs flow at least written down. Conceivably, we could, as long as we have the condition, as long as that PR merges 3994 and we have the condition available, then it's not the end of the world if we don't have the conformance because the spec already says what the conformance should be testing. It'll just be that it just means that as we add the conformance, it's possible that you might leave yourself a subtle bug in an implementation that gets fixed later with the conformance. But like as long as the spec is correct, like and we have some conformance, then it's okay for it to move forward because we can add more conformance later to make 100% sure the behavior is as per the spec.
Yeah, particularly with status, it is one where if you have all the, yeah, status we've been a little bit more lenient with. I think we want to get to as close to 100% coverage as we can, though.
I think what I'm seeing in 3994, which is still open, is that it's implementation specific. So we don't necessarily.
Which part is implementation specific?
Oh, that's the more than one reference. If having more than one reference to a CA certificate,
oh yeah,
implementation specific. Yeah, and that's fine. It's okay for GA things to have implementation specific fields or features that are implementation specific, as long as they're clearly called out as implementation specific.
We've done that before, and I didn't really raise any issue with it here, but it feels like we're being overly conservative. Like I don't know why it needs to be implementation specific.
I mean, currently it's implementation specific because having multiple certificate refs means that you need to unwrap the certificates to pick one.
For CA cert, can't you just include bundle them together?
Include all of them, yeah. Anyway,
anyway, well, it's fine.
I think that's not enough to block the PR. I don't think, Candace. It's a reasonable question to ask. But
but it's also, if it's implementation specific, we don't require conformance tests.
That's right.
For
yeah,
it.
we can.
Well,
in fact, the definition of implementation specific is that we do not have conformance tests for it.
I think we're kind of combining two discussions here because they happen to be in the same PR, but you can still have a single invalid reference to a CA cert, and when that's the case, you should still set resolve refs to false.
Yes.
So that there's nothing implementation specific about that.
The implementation specific part is if you have multiple certificate refs, CA certificate refs.
Yeah. And
in any case, even if you do, like, I mean, maybe it's worth calling out, but like the same invalidity, the same validity rules apply even if you do. So that means that as other places in the API, which means that if there is multiple, if you do have multiple references to a CA certificate ref and at least one of them is valid, then you don't have to say the whole backend TLS policy is valid, but you should still you need to still add the resolved refs condition to say that at least one of them is invalid. Yeah, so you set resolved refs to false to say some reference in this thing is not correct. And so that the point of that is is intended to lead people towards saying, oh, hey, something here is not working. I better we get on that.
Okay. So if we do need a conformance test for that, who is tracking, who would be tracking that kind of work?
We do not need a conformance test for that because it's implementation specific. We don't have the definition of implementation specific is that we don't have any conformance test for it. So it's optional and we don't have conformance test for it. If it's optional and we do have conformance test for it, then that makes it extended. That's the difference between extended and implementation specific. So in this case, we can say implementation specific, the support is implementation specific. If you choose to support this, if your implementation supports this, then you must abide by the same validity rules as for a single reference or something like that. That's so you don't have a conformance test for that because it's up to implementations whether or not they do it. But like the point here is to say, hey, you don't get to just have multiple references and have you make up your own rules for how the validity works. You need to still use the same validity rules.
Okay. So
is that not clear?
No, I think it contradicts something that Rob said. Do you think so, Rob, or no? I might have missed something in the conversation.
No, I mean, so one of the things I will say is I had thought that this was already covered by the PR that we had been looking at. It's not. So the conformance tests are still in flight. What I had said earlier is that we have added conformance tests for status specifically after the fact. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm just saying that's a possibility that we could consider this time. So I would say this is a very good to have, but maybe not strictly blocking item.
I would agree. As I said, the we need to have the definitions in the spec. That's 3904, but we don't need to have the conformance test. It's not a must, it's a should.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, yeah, it's been really great to see this move along. Speaking of things moving along, Nick, cool to see Auth coming along. I left some comments just before this meeting. I'm sure you haven't had a chance to look at them, but
I have not had a chance
anything else you want to cover?
No, like this is literally just the API definitions from the GEP document plus the bits needed to fold things in. There was a couple of things I missed in the GEP document, which is where some of those the stuff like missing the header name type and some other things like that. I'll go through your comments in a bit, Rob. I think the main just looking at your comments now. I'll and I think I suspected that there would be some validation that I missed, but I was like, well, it's better to open it and have someone else's eyes find it rather than try and hold it up.
The one thing, this is very subjective. I'm really not sure about this, but I wanted to at least start a thread on it. And well, we have a few more eyes looking at it. Does anyone have a strong opinion on whether we should call this thing XAuth or external auth?
I think it's fine to go external auth. Like I didn't even think about that possibility. I was just thinking as the quickest way, but external auth makes way more sense so that you don't need to know what ext means.
Okay.
If we're going down that route, do we also want external authentication authorization?
Right. That's it's a slippery slope, right? Where you end up with a really
the reason I did not call it authentication or authorization is because authorization, like it's like you don't have to do authorization. You could
that's true if you could do authentication.
Yeah. That's why I left it as auth. So it's like, well, it covers both. So you must do authentication, but you don't have but you may do authorization. So that's why I wanted to leave it as ext auth so that it covers both.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Leave some ambiguity in case the server does some form of
But
authorization as
maybe
well.
worth, I agree with this, but maybe worth calling out in the comment though that it's following the external authorization protocol or something, so people that read the comment understand.
Sure.
That's. Oh yeah, I like that you actually already called out that must authenticate and may authorize. That's
Yep.
well done. Cool.
It's almost like
All right.
I spent 5 years writing a specification.
Yeah, right. Awesome. Cool. All right, moving down the list. Just a reminder, Ingress to Gateway still exists. There's been some activity. Thanks, Ricardo, Adrian, Sarthi. I think there's some PRs in here that could benefit from reviews. This one in particular, I've been meaning to get to for a long time. But there's already been a lot of good discussion on it. It is a bulky PR. But if anyone has time to give a look, that would be appreciated. I think so far it's mostly just folks from F5 who have been working on this, and would be good to get another set of eyes if we can find one. But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover there. One other thing that's kind of just in the weeds is if you've worked in Kubernetes API machinery for a minute, you are at least moderately familiar with the idea of a list type. And there were a few places in Gateway API where we should have been using list type set, and we were not. Host names in particular is one of the clearest ones. This PR proposes changing those. But there's been a fair amount of discussion where some people are sharing some horror stories of, not a good experience. You might be able to tolerate the issues, but that's scary for an API surface that is already GA to do those changes. I left my own opinion here, which is that we should avoid making any changes to list type on GA APIs, but consider them on experimental APIs. If anyone else has opinions, please raise them here. I mean, it is definitely correct to set a list type set in several places. But yeah, this is a messy one.
Yeah. I mean, I think particularly for hostname, like theoretically you it doesn't make sense to have used duplicate host names in the hostname thing. If you were doing it, it was a mistake on your part anyway. But yeah, but I don't know what could happen if you were. I guess if you scrolled back up a little bit, Rob, I had a suggestion for if someone wants to try this. Yeah, like this is basically what someone needs to do to confirm whether or not this would be a problem. Install an implementation, have multiple host names, 2 of which are the same. Check what happens, and then I think that most implementations will probably just silently handle it for you, and then change it to list type set and apply the YAMLs and see what happens. I think experimentally verifying whether or not it's a problem is really the only thing we could do here. If someone did that and it didn't break badly, then I'd be okay with doing it. But aside from without that experimental validation, then I agree with Rob that it's too risky to make that sort of breaking change on a GA field.
Yep. +1. Cool. Okay. Rose, I think you're up next.
Hello. So I've been working on the technical foundation for the migration. This PR is way bigger than I thought it was ever going to be. but that's because I was doing TDD and I was like, well, I already have these tests written. I might as well just put everything in there and just then talk about it. This code allows us to convert all of the fragile relative links to the new macro, which just allows for us to define the ID from the page and automatically link to that. And even if we have a situation where we want to move the pages around, this code will automatically generate those redirects, and we'll also save that in memory. So one thing I probably should have included in this PR was the redirects.json file, which this will generate, which will basically be just the history of what we have redirects for, and that will establish that like ongoing history.
Cool. This is very very awesome to see this all coming together. One tiny thing, just looking at the directory structure, I think I would, I think I would put this under our hack directory, not trying to say your code is in any way hacky, but just for anything that is not, not critical to end users of the repo, we generally throw it into hack or something like that. Well, I mean, I guess it has been exclusively hack, and we have stuff for like
I wasn't
boilerplate.
quite sure like where to put it, or actually like how to integrate it to our like existing build system where we like build the documentation. So I kind of just threw it in there.
Yeah, we already have some moderately ugly shell scripts for make docs generation in hack. We also have like Go scripts for supported features, which I think also ends up coming back around to, I forget where our actual conformance table generator comes from, but surely it's in here as well.
I think that's it.
Anyway. Yeah.
Anyway.
So one thing is the actual like Python script does need to be co-located in the same directory as the mkdocs.yaml, I think it is.
Is that a hard dependency? Like, can you just do a relative path or something? I don't know.
I don't think that's a thing you can do. It's very
I think that, yeah, I mean, I think that's fine for you to take as a, hey, I'll check that out and,
yeah,
and find out if that really thing. If so, like, I'd be fine with, having whatever minimal include file you need to have in the directory alongside the TOML file, and and then just loading the rest of it as libraries or something from somewhere in the hack directory, if you can manage that.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into this a little bit more.
But like, to be clear, the changes are completely awesome, and I'm super excited to see it in. Like, to be clear, these are nitpicky things that like, I just would only just prevent the merging as it stands. But like, that is not anything about like the code itself is amazing. I love seeing like 100 lines of code with 1,000 lines of tests. That's amazing.
It's the only way I can tell that Python is working.
I was like, it's been a long time since I read this much Python. Like, I'm really glad you've got the test, to be honest.
Same.
Python.
Yeah, so, really nice work.
Ricardo, you've had your hand up for a minute. Wait, you're muted, or I can't hear you. I don't know.
Yeah, you're muted.
Or wait, okay, you weren't muted. I just couldn't hear you.
No, I couldn't hear him either.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So you were unmuted in Zoom, but we couldn't hear your microphone. So you might have hardware muted your mic or something.
No, still muted. You were temporarily unmuted. It's like you, maybe.
Yeah.
Can't
So
hear
your
you.
Zoom is currently unmuted, but we can't hear you.
I will type.
Oh,
That's it.
there you go.
Hooray!
Wait, we could hear you. What?
Yeah, we could hear you last when you said I will type, we could hear
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
Oh, Pyland as
Okay.
well.
Pyland. Sure. Rose, do you happen to have any experience with Pyland?
I don't.
Rob?
I used Pyland.
Oh, you're there. Yes, can hear you.
So I just wanted to be the annoying person to ask for some linter, because not because of this PR, but because someone may try to change that in the future. I'm not sure if someone is my things, they're not working anymore. Sorry.
Yep. Yeah. So Rose, I guess if you could have a look and see if you can figure out how to add some linting, and if you can't, then I don't think that should hard block. We should get this in plus, and then we can have a to-do to come back and add some linting after the fact. I think. Ricardo, that okay? Does that sound okay to you?
Yeah. It's more like it's not a blocker. It's just like if we can have the linter for those files in the future, because I'm just worried like they are massive, so it would just be good like as soon as Rose it's not working on that anymore, or if she needs to do some review, we already have some sort of
Yep.
analysis.
Speaking as someone who is very happy with the Kubernetes API linter, when I was doing my API change, and it was like, oh, you forgot this, you forgot that. It is very nice to have a linter remind you, even if you've got a lot of experience in the area. From me.
Yeah.
And just to clarify, because I wrote that, I don't hate Linux, I just hate Bluetooth on Linux. Sorry for that.
Great. Sweet. Awesome, Rose. Thanks for that update. David, are you on the call?
Yes, I am.
Cool.
Yeah, so I would like some reviews on my PR to add conformance test for listeners sets. It was open for a couple of weeks while I was working on it. It just had an initial test. I was hoping to get, a first initial round of reviews on that. But now I've added a bunch more tests, and I think that it is ready for a thorough review.
That is amazing. Have you been able to pair this? I don't know if any implementations have picked up listener set yet, but if they have you been able to run these tests against an implementation? If you're saying something like I can't hear you, you're muted.
Yeah, you muted again now.
Yeah. While we wait for a response, anyone on the call happen to know of an implementation that supports listener set today?
I have not done
Istio?
it. I have
Yeah,
not done it.
Istio has support,
Yep.
and K Gateway does as well.
Okay.
Nice. Okay. Impressive.
Nice. Good work as always, John.
Yeah.
If you find any issues with it, obviously let us know. hasn't been tested too much, so.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I mean, I guess this is one way to do that. Yeah. So, David, we lost you.
Yeah, sorry, I can hear you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
That's great.
Great. Now we can hear you. Yeah.
Yep. So did you have you had a chance to test these conformance tests against Istio or K Gateway?
Yes, I
Yeah.
tested it against K Gateway.
Oh,
Outstanding.
sweet.
Excellent.
And so presumably they're passing against K Gateway then?
Yes, although I think with the revisions, it's not. I think
Okay.
the revisions for it went in, which adds certain conditions and messages, right? And it hasn't passed with the latest ones, but I have raised PRNK gateway to make them pass.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I don't want to volunteer. Well, okay, I will put people on the spot. I know Ricardo's been doing a lot of fun stuff with listener set improvements recently, and also Dave is the one who did a lot of the initial work on conformance on listener set. So maybe one or both of them would.
Just
All right.
assign everyone to me. I can take a look. I actually saw, but I didn't have time to do some deep look. But feel free to assign everyone to me.
You're the best, Ricardo.
Yep. I'll have a look as
You,
well.
Ricardo.
I've been in heavily conformance mode because I just finished a refactor of Cilium's gateway API implementation, and so I've spent a lot of time looking at conformance tests recently. Speaking of which, if I can, I do have a bunch of parent ref conformance tests, general parent ref conformance tests to add, and I'll see what I can do.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
I have the YAMLs and stuff because we have a YAML based testing framework. So yeah, I'll see what I can do.
David, I'm curious, do you have a specific use case you're pushing for listener set? Is this something that you would really benefit from, or?
Well, not really. So rather than having conformance tests within Key Gateway, I thought I would contribute those conformance tests to the overall Gateway API.
Yep.
Much appreciated.
That's amazing.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yep.
Would be great to see more of that. Awesome. Cool.
Thanks very much, man.
Okay. Well, I guess staying on theme, Ricardo, you've got some changes to listener set gap that you're working on. If we can hear you. Oh no. Wait, is Ricardo still on the call?
Yeah, he is. He is.
Oh man.
He is the picture of frustration in his video at the moment.
I'm sorry, Ricardo. Yeah, can't hear you. Can definitely see that you're trying to. Okay, we'll come back to you. That's too bad. All right, Mike, I think you're up. We'll drop Ricardo down. At least one. An unresolved warning on retry behavior. Oh.
Yeah, I started
Wow.
working on this and forgot that we had still kind of just left this hanging. And I am very uncertain, expecting that we won't have enough time to like actually check what all the implementations are doing and get everybody aligned on any potential necessary changes for that in a week.
Yeah, I had forgotten about that as well. Yeah, so that I think you're 100% right, Mike. That sadly, that I think that does block us moving retries.
I unfortunately think that it should. It's something that now that I'm started on this, like we can hopefully get this in a better place such that it's like ready to go early in the 1.5 cycle so that we can have this discussion. But it's basically, I think, too short notice to try to get this resolved before 1.4.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be awesome if we could do some portion of it, either like resolve this or add some basic conformance tests so we're in a better spot for the next release.
Yes,
but yeah,
I think that's my intent, is to try to get basically enough conformance and stuff so that we can like have a targeted focused discussion on this.
Yep.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, thanks for the update. Yeah, this is a tough one. Yeah, who would have thought that an API for retries would be so complicated? But yeah.
Oh, anyone who worked on that API for timeouts, maybe.
Yes. Yes, for sure. Next up, we'll jump back to Ricardo in case audio is working again. No pressure. Oh, he's in joining mode. Oh, it is. Nice.
I guess it is. Yes, I have just installed the Zoom application and I have stopped suffering. Sorry. Do you want to go back to listener set or the
yeah,
other
let's do it.
Okay, cool. So just a heads up. I guess can't remember if I gave this heads up on the last meeting, but I have started reviewing some caps and I found some inconsistencies on this one. I would love to have more reviews other than from Dave. Dave, it's doing a bunch of reviews, but some things they are still a bit confusing on what are the expectations, what are the the conformance that we want to have here. So please, I would be more than happy to get more reviews. So David is implementing the conformance tests, I guess, and Nick and John, they are implementing on their backends, on their controller. So we would have some some more precise gap, and maybe eventually even get that for 1.5 if everything is fine.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Okay. So just to make sure I'm understanding this correctly, you are exclusively changing the gap. And most of what you're doing is pulling in changes that were made to the API already, like the API types, or
Yes.
adding clarification.
Yes, but there are some situations, mostly on the conflict management, or what is valid or what is invalid for listener set, that I think that they need some some clarification before implementation. Like Dave actually wrote some some invalid situations that they are not clear what they mean, at least not for me. So if someone can chime in and say like, yeah, this is kind of clear, it would be this kind of manifest, it's valid or not. I think it would be great to have more and more eyes on this review of this gap.
Cool.
Yep, I'll have a look too.
Thank you.
This one
This
doesn't
is
have...
me. Yeah, I forgot to put my name.
Okay.
Oh, that wasn't the right one though. I was about to do
okay.
the yeah, I was about to put the authorization one. I'll tell you, it's 389.
Wait, Nick's one? No.
No.
Oh, I see. What's
It's
the
3891.
number?
Yeah, my bad. Where is it?
This seems plausible.
Yeah, well, just trying to get more eyes. We've been taking this separately with Gamma, a few Gamma meetings. Yeah, I mean, there's a few open comments, but I think most of it is just like looking at the last change we have pushed deny out. Like it was already out, but like we have removed it from any future announcement. Like removed like the semantics described based on Flynn's feedback, and also kind of removed L7 language from the gap in favor of something a little bit more short. So yeah, that's just waiting for just like reviewing the edits and seeing whether it's in a good shape to getting it in.
Cool.
Cool. I will try to prioritize taking a look at this week. Thanks, Lyra.
Thanks.
Awesome. Great. And I think I saw somewhere Flynn was gonna try and review this week as well, so hopefully get some good feedback. Great. Yeah, this is just one that I wanted to raise some attention to. Thanks, Ricardo, for filing this. This has kind of been on a journey for a minute, but I think we have some disagreement. Like this came up a while ago, and the disagreement was, is this better or worse than light mode? Like because we have all these graphics that just don't handle well on dark mode. Ricardo, did you get any clear answer? I know there's a Slack thread on this.
No. So, but I mean, it will not be dark mode by default, as Flynn asked it. But I also seen some situations where like even some mermaid graphs and other images they won't render correctly-ish. So it's up to this, to this group say like, yeah, we can have that, or like just use dark mode extension as me and Shane we've been doing for some time, and it's a really small change that probably will just matter for people like me. That like this thing, this is this situation that sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, this is sad. I do like the last time this came up, I don't think there was a way for it to always default to light mode and then have to like switch. I think it would follow your like OS default or something. And I default my OS to dark, but I would be annoyed if I saw this. But like if it's something that I have to opt into, then I think that.
But I think,
yeah, go for it.
I'm saying like I'm also default to dark, but Rob, as you see on your screen, it hasn't defaulted to dark, right?
Right. So I'm happy with that. Like I think that's
okay.
a good state to be in until we can get a better looking dark mode for things like, icons like this that just don't translate well.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna need like different versions of icons that you can swap in when you switch to dark mode and stuff like that.
Yeah, gotta get our front end developers in the room.
Yep.
Yeah, some of the mermaid stuff doesn't look.
I mean, at least mermaid handles it
that awful.
It does remind me. I'm gonna make an update to that.
I mean, I was bored by this dark mode, not having dark mode, so I just stepped ahead and changed it. If someone gets annoyed by like the graphics not working, they can just go ahead and change the graphs, maybe change the images.
Yeah, that's fine.
It also works right. You create the friction, and then someone else fixes the friction.
Exactly.
Okay.
Rose has a hand up.
Hello. So this is definitely something we can look at like more long term as well for the documentation, like how we're going to deal with all of these images. Right now I have it so the links work, but like there's relative links in the images as well, and like how all of that works. One other aspect you want to think about for these images is accessibility. So part of my job at the University of Minnesota is working on our digital accessibility, and just it is definitely a complicated process to make sure that things are both accessible but also displaying like what we need to do visually. So like having the descriptions there is really important at like a minimum. But like, yeah, there's a lot of work to be done.
Yes. Yeah, no, you're right. You're I mean, in so many ways, but yes, I hope we've done okay at least some level of alt text, but this seems suspect. Maybe we just don't have alt text in many places. Oh, well, kind of. Not very descriptive, but it's there at least.
The biggest sorry. The biggest thing that like will make things accessible is having good writing, because like you're gonna both be explaining this in the writing as well as the image, so the image matters less.
Yeah.
But yeah, just long-term things to consider, which is a lot of work for me and everyone else.
Yes. Cool. Well, yeah, thank you for calling that out. Completely
Chris has his hand up, so.
Yeah, another good thing about accessibility is being able to like test the website with a screen reader and without a mouse. So like that's a key thing with accessibility. So we should probably try and make sure we can use the website without a mouse and with the screen reader.
Agreed.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. So it sounds like anyone opposed if I add a final approve on this and just let it through?
I think it's fine to have the switch.
Okay. Well, I'm here. Thanks, Ricardo.
Sure. Do you want me to do on inference extension as well. I'm just kidding. Don't make that wrong. I already
I
generated
mean-
too much friction there.
Poor Ricardo.
No, it's fine. It's
Thank
fine, man.
you.
I was only being facetious. It's fine. Like,
Oh man. Yeah. Okay, great. And then Chris, let's see. Oh, more conformance tests. Great. What do you just need reviews here?
Yeah. I just need basically reviews for that one. And then I would like so then the other link I wanted some clarification on. I tried to get Flynn's attention for this, but I have the fix for that bug, but I just wanted to get like on the because I put what I want to fix in there, but I just want to clarify like what solution I should do
for the conformance test. I think so did you add the new feature, the new feature name?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I'll have another look at it. Now that you've added the feature name stuff. I think we'll need Mattia to have a look at it too, probably.
Cool. Thanks.
As he is the conformance. So I guess.
Nick, you're looking at this one to be
At
clear.
the PR. Yep.
Okay, so are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're already on this. Okay.
I don't have a PR for
And-
the other one, but I did write the code for the fix. It's only like 10 lines of code, but I just
So
needed
just,
clarification on what to do.
I.
I'll follow up on this
see.
one. Yeah, you can
Okay.
CC me, Rob.
Anyone else want to be
Yeah, so,
CC'd on this?
Yeah. So I'm already on there. Yeah, but yeah, and I think I suggested the core only idea.
Rob, can you CC Becca as well?
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, cool. Let's have a look at that. But yeah, I think I agree that it should be easy to run the actual conformance tests and not have to worry about like which features am I testing. If I want to just test all conformance features, that should be easy. And then you can exclude them. I think it's way easier to say I specifically don't support these ones than to say I do support these ones. I think that the more that as we start to add the gateway class abilities in the suite, it's important to give implementations flexibility as to how they sort of run the conformance tests themselves, because I think it'll be less important because your implementation has to publish your features into the suite anyway, and so like into the gateway class, or once we add the mesh resource into the mesh resource, and then so the selecting the extended features is going to be less important in the future because because that stuff is all going to be read in from your gateway class or your mesh resource. So like I think it's worth doing because there'll be a tail of folks who haven't done that yet, and so yeah, we've probably got at least a release before we can like make that the default. So it's definitely still worth making this change, but that's sort of where we're going. It should be that the gateway class and or the mesh resource will be where you look at to determine what extended features are enabled.
A lot of it is still going to be useful for development, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Like I've been using personally. I'm not sure what other people they're doing conformance test development, but personally I've been using like specific tests to run it's a bit easier. So I think this issue should be more focused on the development cycle.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, the TLDR there, Chris, is I just wanted to give you the extra info about the context. But yeah, really great to see you picking this up, and I'll have a look and put an opinion on there later today, my time.
Cool. Thanks.
Awesome. Well, I think with that, we've made it to the end of the agenda. Thanks, everyone. Great discussion today. Any last notes? All right. Well, give everyone a few minutes. Or Leo?
I actually have one last thing, which is actually coincidentally the 3962, the one I have linked before.
All right.
So if you open 3962, 962. I mean, that's there is something with gRPC going. Yeah, I mean, I have tried to run the tests unsuccessfully, and then there were some changes. So I'm not sure. I know we were using Istio client. I know John, upon my request, also related to it. But if you open the files, and then you go to the mesh gRPC one, grpcwait.go under mesh. So I'm not sure, like right now it has changed to basically do gRPC, but asking for status code 200, which looks weird to me because I don't think it means anything with gRPC. Yeah, I'm not sure. If you look at the conformance test for gRPC wait.go for the gateway, it looks a little bit different. And when we had it for mesh, it just did not work. Like I ran, like this version was for mesh initially, it just didn't work. So I ran it with Istio. So yeah, I'm not sure. I just wanted some opinions here. Yeah.
So I guess Istio must support gRPC route. Does anyone know if Linkerd does?
No, Istio supports, yes.
Right, but does any other mesh support gRPC route?
Yeah, Stellium doesn't support gRPC route for east-west currently, only HTTP route.
Yeah.
I know Linkerd added some gRPC support in general a couple of releases ago. I don't know specifically if they support gRPC route in like the Gateway API spec one. Yeah.
What does it matter, Rob, though? Like, where are you leading?
No, I was just trying to if you can run
I
against.
thought they had something.
To isolate, is this a problem with the test or a problem with Istio? I'm assuming it's not a problem with Istio, but if
I think it's a problem. I think something's wrong with
the 200 doesn't even make sense because it would be like a 101, like the upgrade or something first, and then
wait, no, 200 does make sense. Like,
or does it?
Okay, it's so there's no upgrades with gRPC. It always uses HTTP2 prior knowledge if you're in plain text.
No.
Oh,
now
okay.
The response is a little bit wonky because it's gRPC always responds 200 if you actually hit the backend.
Okay.
But we're not testing anything that's going to be like the backend responding with a gRPC level error, right?
Why not? Why not? If you look at the above test for gateway, we do test. So when you return 200 from
in this case, the test is that the response that you are actually testing that you get like something close to the percentage that you've configured in the weights, right?
Yeah, like I mean, I like if we want to also add that the gRPC response status is 0, which is okay. That's also cool, but I don't think it's strictly necessary for something like this. You might want to check that the protocol returned is gRPC. I don't know that I don't think the request ping protocol gRPC means the response is, just in case an implementation is doing something really weird, but I don't. Seems not terribly likely.
Yeah, I haven't looked at this code before, so I don't know.
Leo, what's your request here? Are you just asking for more people to look at it?
Yeah, I think I need more eyes. So if I just want to give a 1-sentence summary, it was initially like similar to the gateway one. If you opened up the like the gRPC wait under the gateway one, not under the mesh, which we actually checked for okay. But also we had a pod that actually connects to gRPC. So like you can just browse the commits to see how it looked like. But we constantly got timeouts and stuff like this. But then when I ran it with this mode, it just was, it felt like, it didn't feel like I get gRPC responses. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, I'm not sure this is a right test, but I don't have probably enough expertise to attest it. So I'll need more eyes here.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you for raising this. I had missed this one entirely, so appreciate you paying attention. And Do we have any volunteers who should CC on this?
I can take a look. I don't know if I will be, knowing what I'm doing. But
I can take a look too. I'm not a reviewer, but I can
Oh,
at least take
that's
a look at
perfect.
it.
Oh, that actually does remind me though that the best way for anyone who is interested in becoming a reviewer to become a reviewer is to do reviews before you have the permissions and show that you're actually interested in being a reviewer. And please, if you feel like you would like to do that and you would like to become a reviewer, please feel free. Like more GEP reviewers is only going to be helpful. One of the reasons that we've struggled and we have to have the limits on features coming into the releases is because of limited reviewer and approver bandwidth. So the more reviewers that we get, the the better off we will be as a community. So yeah, please do feel free to review even if you are not. And yeah, if you do want to become a reviewer, doing reviews is a way to become one. Yes, Candice.
Yeah, big deal.
One last thing, I couldn't remember what the context was, but now I remember. And Lior is here. I could ask Lior about this. You had added to the backend TLS policy GEP an override in Gateway for backend TLS.
Mhm.
You recall this?
Yeah. Have
Was
you
it actually?
have you attended
was
last week's meeting, Kenneth? Or I think we talked about it there.
so.
Was it actually an override, or was it just where you could set client cert for backend TLS?
Yeah, I think you're referring to the gateway.backend TLS, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think it's what Rob's saying. Did we have a discussion on GitHub about? I don't think anyone actually implements that.
Yeah, no one implemented it, and so we're going to move it into the to the new gateway level TLS stanza that currently also holds the front end validation.
Yeah. Do we have? Can you link the so? Can you link the discussion that we're talking about it? So.
If I can find it, I don't remember where it was.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think I think I
same.
see it. 3979.
3979.
I guess
maybe
there wasn't any.
Yeah, if you don't mind dropping it in Slack, I've got a drop. But if you can drop it in Slack, I'll follow.
Is this something that you need, Candice, or just was curious?
I was wondering if this is going to go into how this is going into the GA.
It's not. It's
okay.
not.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all I need to know. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Bye.
Awesome. Well, thanks a bunch, everyone. Have a good rest of your week.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye.
But